We're doing it live.
Hello, I'm wearing my microphone this time.
Yay! This is gonna end very well.
Hopefully. I see what you did there.
You see what I did? Thank you.
We're reviewing The Dead Don't Die.
Welcome to our review of The Dead Don't Die, directed by Jim Jarmusch.
Did I say it?
I don't know, how would you say it?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go with that.
I've just been calling it the Adam Driver zombie movie.
I think that's pretty much what everyone else is going with.
Yep.
Adam Driver and Bill Murray zombie movie.
Yes.
Spoilers ahead. This review contains spoilers. So, in this film, we follow Adam Driver and Bill Murray playing two policemen in the town of Centerville.
It starts off with them going to find a man who lives in the woods named Hermit Bob. And they think he has stolen a chicken from farmer, what is his name? Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, the farmer.
And they go out and they tell him stop being weird, and then they leave.
He's basically a man who has been living out in the woods like since junior high.
Like his whole life, probably.
Yeah, got a big old beard. He just forages.
He's exactly what you would think of when you hear the name Hermit Bob.
Yeah.
And they're driving back to the police station, and they notice that it's like 8 o'clock, I think they said.
Yep.
Like 8 at night, and it's broad daylight.
20 past 8.
Yeah, so weird stuff's happening like literally from the beginning of the movie.
Adam Driver's watch has stopped working.
Yeah, and his phone's died.
His phone's died inexplicably, even though it was just at full charge. So strange things are afoot.
Yes.
We see the story of a couple of different people around town.
Yeah.
Including the owner, a waitress at a diner.
I think she's the owner, because they said she's been doing nice stuff with the place lately.
Yeah, true.
So I think she's the owner.
Some kids in juvie, and everybody's listening to the news reports, and they learn that the polar fracking is causing the Earth to be jolted off of its axis, and that is presumably the reason why weird shit's going down.
Yeah, it makes the moon, at some point you can see it. It's a full moon, and it's got this purple, like,
tendrily
haze around it.
All in my brain.
Yeah.
Radioactive lunar flares?
Yes.
Something along that line.
And for some reason, everyone's confused about this, except for Hermit Bob.
Hermit Bob seems kind of like almost, not quite omnipotent, but almost in that kind of thing. He's kind of like a narrator.
And he's almost like a doomsday prepper, like he's been waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
Like he knew this was going to happen.
He's like in the know.
Yeah.
He's one with nature. He can tell that things are off balance and not as they should be.
Because like nature's starting to be
mushrooms are growing where they're not supposed to.
Animals are freaking out. Ants, all of the animals, like people's pets have started to go missing, and they're just running out into the woods. So he knows something's going on, but no one else
Something's
knows
afoot.
Something's going on. Yeah. And it's also like a little bit of an anthology, like a tiny bit, like a bunch of different stories, all merging into one. Except not quite, because not all of the characters end up meeting each other, but they're all involved by the end.
Yeah, all in the same town, and you see different perspectives of it, how it affects different people. And then some zombies show up. Iggy Pop, getting his coffee on.
Yeah. You start to notice that with, they explain that it's the zombies going back to what they enjoyed when they were alive.
Yes.
So all of the zombies kind of repeat one word over and over, and they're Iggy Pop and the other zombie repeated the word coffee over and over.
Yeah.
And they're the first two that you see.
Yeah, they kill the diner owner and the woman who was employed to clean the diner after hours.
She's also employed to clean the funeral home that is owned by Tilda Swinton,
who is a Scottish sensei.
She's one of the best parts of the movie.
Best part, yeah. So that is what pretty much gets it on everyone's radar.
Yep.
This big, brutal attack that looks like it might have been done by a wild animal or several wild animals.
Yes, that's a running joke in the movie. You hear that 90 times. It seems like Bill Murray is kind of the only character who is fully confused by everything going on.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to have some sort of an idea.
Or level of acceptance.
There's a group of teenagers, Selena Gomez and the two boys. They keep saying, "We hear you have zombies in town," and we have absolutely no idea or explanation ever.
Well, I thought that was because they talked to Caleb Landry Jones, and he said, "You get a lot of zombies around here?" And he said, "I guess you could say that."
Right, but there hadn't been any zombies up until that point.
No, but I guess that's what I thought, was that they were going off of that.
Yeah, there's some joke about there being zombies in town, but no one knows that there's zombies in town.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird fourth wall breaking, but for some reason Adam Driver's character seems to realize that he's in a movie.
Yeah, he knows.
And he's the only one, and so he keeps saying a lot of things that kind of confuse the other characters, especially Bill Murray. And Tilda Swinton also seems to have some sort of an idea that there's zombies. It starts off with the two zombies, and then suddenly there's a whole horde of zombies. The town's cemetery, everyone that's buried in it has come back to life. And you start to hear more and more news coverage of the polar fracking and that something's going on, and it actually kind of almost makes it seem like maybe other places are having different things happening than just zombies.
I thought that they were just saying that what was happening was going global.
So yeah, maybe there are zombies everywhere.
Zombies everywhere.
It's not really 100%. There's also this weird thing that was never explained. The newscast keeps glitching in and out, and I almost thought that they were going to play something in between.
Me too.
Because it seems like there was some sort of like other footage.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see something else peek
And
through.
there was never anything, so I don't know.
Kind of like in a the Truman Show moment.
Kind of.
When it peeks through the radio.
Yeah.
One of the most haunting moments in cinema.
It's true.
Shook me to my core.
There's zombies everywhere, and so everyone who you've been following their stories are now in different groups and sort of slowly coming together to survive the zombie apocalypse. So basically, the cops, Adam Driver, Bill Murray, and Chloe Sevigny have joined forces with Tilda Swinton, who has been absolutely murdering the zombies left and right. And she comes to their police station and asks if she can use their computer, and starts doing this weird matrix
Super fast typing
stuff
thing.
on the computer, and asks to borrow Adam Driver's car. And we don't see her for a little while until the final showdown between Adam Driver and Bill Murray versus all of the zombies in the cemetery. So she arrives finally and gets out of her car, walks to the center of the cemetery, and a UFO shows up and takes her away. And then that's the last we see of Tilda Swinton. She was an alien the whole time. So.
Loved that. I actually did. I did.
It was really cool. It was
sarcastic.
also funny because at that point, Bill Murray and Adam Driver are both sort of now aware that they're in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the script, and Adam Driver says, "Well, I know what's going to happen because I got the whole script."
Yeah.
And Bill Murray says that he hadn't gotten the whole script, and they both make a joke that the Tilda Swinton leaving in a UFO was not in the final script. It reminds me of a movie called The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Starring Keanu Reeves?
Yes, it's starring Keanu Reeves. That's exactly. I told you I had something to say right when we came out of the theater, and that you were going to have this exact reaction.
God damn it.
He's an alien.
Spoiler alert. I've never
No,
seen that.
it's
Oh.
not a spoiler alert.
Okay.
That's the whole plot of the movie, is that he's an alien.
Well, I've never seen it.
We can watch it.
We have to watch Constantine.
Also starring Tilda Swinton.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, then after Tilda Swinton leaves,
Everyone fucking dies.
yes, Adam Driver and Bill Murray decide to get out of their cop car and fight the zombies off, and are quickly overtaken by the zombies. And the only one that survives are Hermit Bob and
Tilda Swinton.
so the teenagers that were in juvenile hall. That part didn't really make sense to me though.
No. They just say, I know somewhere safe that we can hide,
Yeah.
and they run off. And
You
that's
don't
the last
see
you
them.
see of them.
You don't see them again.
So it's ambiguous.
And then that's the end of the
And then,
movie.
but not before we get a lovely monologue
Oh yeah.
telling us what the movie was about. Although I'm very conflicted because I'm not sure if there's certain aspects of the movie that I'm not sure if they're a parody or not.
Yeah, we can't tell if it's supposed to be a joke or not.
Like some parts, obviously,
Obviously,
but
yeah.
like the ending monologue was so like, this is what the movie's about.
It was so.
We live in a
It was
society.
so overly serious and like
And-
fake deep.
Yeah, very.
It was
on the
about
nose.
consumerism. The zombie movie ended up being about consumerism.
So that makes me wonder if it's a parody because it was so.
Kind
Bad.
of, yeah. We both really enjoyed the humor of it. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's
Dry.
not for everyone.
No.
When I was reading some reviews, a lot of people refer to it as anti-humor, and I've never heard that term before.
No.
But I like anti-humor,
Yeah.
so I learned something about myself.
Yeah. Like the whole Adam Driver knowing that he's in a zombie movie,
Mhm.
but still going along with the script and
Yeah.
being in character regardless was funny. Tilda Swinton was really funny just because her character was so weird.
Yeah, and I mean, Bill Murray is like pretty much known for his deadpan delivery, so he was pretty much
Yeah.
perfect for this film. And then him and Adam Driver just had a great chemistry.
His humor
Doing
though
their-
was like not normal Bill Murray humor though. He's usually the one that's in on the joke
Yeah, it was,
in
but
the
it
movie.
wasn't.
Yeah. It was
Like-
just a different take to his humor.
Because usually he's like
He's the jokester.
He's cracking jokes.
Yeah.
But in that deadpan way.
Yeah, but this
But
one he's like
He's
he doesn't get it.
responding to the jokes, and he doesn't get it in that kind of perspective.
I think Bill Murray's character is like you watching the movie kind of a little bit
That seems right.
in like a meta
Mhm.
sort of a way. But he's really funny in it.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi's really funny. He's like a racist
Yeah.
farmer, which is not something I ever thought I'd see Steve Buscemi
No.
play.
But it's hard to
It's still
dislike.
hard to hate him.
Yeah, I mean, it's Steve Buscemi.
it was really nicely shot.
Yep, had some very lovely visuals.
Yeah, there's a scene when the police are in their car in the cemetery and there's zombies covering their car and you can still see the police lights flashing and it's just like, it's beautiful.
The town in general had some lovely aesthetics, some lovely small town
This, yeah, the
aesthetics.
cemetery. was
Cemetery
nice.
looked nice. The only thing was that shot of the crows looked very bad. CGI crows.
Yeah,
But that's another thing. I don't know if that was also a parody because it was so bad and we saw it twice.
could be,
So I almost wonder if that
Yeah.
was a parody or mockery of like scenes like that,
could be.
like in the
It was
War of the
very,
Worlds.
yeah, it was very like stereotypical.
Mhm.
So, Tilda Swinton was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Her and Adam Driver. Her and Adam Driver actually together, the few scenes that they did have together were really good together.
Mhm.
But she was probably the best part of it, even though she wasn't in it a whole lot.
No,
But
unfortunately.
she's. I saw the trailer for it and I was already interested because it was zombies and Adam Driver and Bill Murray. But when I saw the trailer and saw her part in it, is what made me like, okay, I'm gonna go see this.
Yeah. Another thing that I liked about it, which when I was reading other people's reviews, I didn't see anyone make this comparison, so I don't know if it's just me or whatever.
To be fair, we compare everything.
That is true. It had some Twin Peaks-like vibes, at least to me.
A little bit. Like random conversation that you would probably hear in real life if
But-
you were somewhere, but you would never hear it in a movie.
Yeah, the kind of conversations or scenes that you are watching and you like partway through you think, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
What
What does
why
this
is
have to do with
of any
anything?
consequence to me? I don't care.
Yeah.
Or like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It had some scenes like that reminded me of it, and also just like the kind of like bizarre surrealist feeling,
And some of the shots
tone,
too.
some of the shots, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also with some subplots that are never resolved,
Like the teenagers.
like the teenagers.
Tilda Swinton.
Yep. And even Selena Gomez and company.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Pointless.
You don't really, yeah, they're pointless, but like you don't really see what happens to them.
No.
You just see that they're dead.
I
You don't know
literally
how.
don't know why they're even. I don't understand that part of it.
So like,
Yeah.
it just be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't always know what's
It's
gonna
true.
happen.
I also really like the soundtrack.
Yep.
I mean,
Ooh, Sturgill Simpson.
yeah, the Sturgill Simpson thing is a dead horse, and they beat the shit out of it. But like, the actual soundtrack to it, aside
Yeah.
from that song, the Dead Don't Die song, is really good, and it like really makes it sound really creepy. And it was like a comedy movie, but when the zombies would be attacking someone, the music that they would play and like the amount of gore and blood, I
Yeah.
was a little surprised at. So like the combination of that and the soundtrack made it feel like it was an actual horror movie, and it made me really like it. It's also like synthy,
Yeah.
80s, so I'll always enjoy that.
Always
sort of a
down for
thing.
that.
Yeah. The things that I did not like mostly was just Selena Gomez and her two friends. I don't know what their names are. I just know that they're Vanessa Ann Hutchins' boyfriend and Kourtney Kardashian's boyfriend. Is literally the only way that I know either of them.
Which one is Kourtney? The black?
Yeah.
Is Kourtney Kardashian's boyfriend?
Yes, isn't that creepy?
He's a boy.
He's like 20, I think he's like your age, and she's 40 something.
He's a little lad.
Essentially, like they're in this. It's an Oldsmobile, right? They say the
I think
name of
that's
the
what he
car
said.
like
It was
25 times.
George Romero's car.
Yeah. So it's from a George Romero movie. You know, they kept hinting back at that because it's a zombie movie.
Yeah, it was very not self-referential. Or apparent, I read that it was self-referential. I've never seen any other Jim Jarmusch films, but I
No.
heard that it was self-referential. But apparently very referential to other zombie movies.
Yes. So they're driving. There's this big thing of them arguing about where they're from, the cops and the motel owner, and that they finally realize that they just refer to them as the hipsters from Cleveland. And they're for some reason driving through town, and they know something weird's happening, and they kind of have a lot of interaction with different groups throughout, and essentially are locked up in the hotel for the night because of the zombies. But essentially, like, you see them watching the news, and they're saying how scary it is and how creepy this town is, and then the next thing you see is Adam Driver, Bill Murray, and Chloe Sevigny come to the hotel to check on them, and they've been killed by zombies. And it's actually very funny. It sounds really dark.
One of the,
It's probably one of the best parts of the movie.
probably the funniest scene.
Adam Driver goes in and cuts all of their heads off with a machete to keep them from turning into zombies, and it scares the shit out of Bill Murray and Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
But there's this really awkward, horrible scene with
Haunting.
him just holding Selena Gomez's head up for the
Staring
longest
at
time. It's, but yeah, that group in particular, they could have not been in the movie, and there would have been nothing different about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably a parody or a metaphor for
Yeah,
something.
I feel like that is part of
But-
it. Like, yeah, it doesn't make a difference, but
they're there.
they're there.
Yeah.
They were. That's life.
But
Sometimes things happen that are of no consequence.
yeah, the juvie kids I could handle, like that story not going anywhere. But something about Selena Gomez and her group, they should have just not been in it.
The juvie kids were at least informative.
Yeah, they had a point.
And then, yeah, my only other complaint would be I felt like the final act was a little weak. And especially for Chloe Sevigny's character. It was...
But then I don't know what else I would have expected for her character.
yeah, it was just a little weird to... I don't know,
It
just
was
something
like,
about
we're tired
like
of the writing her character
yeah,
now.
the female cop is too irrational and emotional to handle the zombie apocalypse.
Which is strange,
thing.
I will say, because in the beginning of the movie, her character kind of seems like the most like capable and the most level-headed out of the three of them. Like Bill Murray, yeah, I mean in the very first scene, like talking about her Prius and all of that, like she seems very on top of all of her stuff.
Yeah.
Like Adam Driver's character kind of just seems like, oh, I get to be a cop, cool, I get to have a gun. Bill Murray's character's like tired. He talks about like he had to retire.
Yeah,
he wanted to retire 2 years ago, but he couldn't. And like Chloe Sevigny's character kind of seemed like the only one who like could handle anything. Like she had a level head. She wanted to be a cop, like because she wanted to be a cop. I don't know. I just got like a more responsible vibe from her. And then like she just went batshit crazy.
Yeah.
She was terrified of everything. She could not handle the zombies. She was scared to death. And then at the end, they're in the cop car and they see her grandmother trying to get in, and the grandma's calling to her, and she goes, "Okay, I can't take it anymore. I'm coming, Grandma," and gets out and lets them eat her, and she becomes a zombie.
Yeah. It was just a little sad to see.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
And then just the like final act of the movie in general was a little disappointing based on the first like 2/3. Like it just kind of. But I guess that's part of it.
Here's my thing.
I don't know. It just felt a little weak in comparison with the rest of the movie.
Here's my thing.
What's your thing?
This might be me being biased. My boy Ronnie, played by Adam Driver, had shit handled. He had been waiting his whole life
He was ready.
for a zombie apocalypse. If there was anybody that would survive a zombie apocalypse, it would be him.
It would.
And to see him go down so quickly
Yeah.
was just kind of like weird. I would have expected Bill Murray.
Sure.
I would have kind of been happier had they like left the ending of the two of them kind of like ambiguous to where it's like, because if it's like a parody of zombie movies, they should have made it ambiguous. So it's like, oh, is there going to be a sequel? But there's not going to be a sequel. But that's just how zombie movies usually end.
Yeah.
There's always room for more stuff. Like Resident Evil always ends with like, oh, that means there's going to be another movie. So I kind of would have preferred the stereotypical, comical, how the hell did they survive that ending, rather than the weird Tom Waits being a hermit talking about consumerism.
Yeah. But you know what? They did warn us. This isn't going to end well.
Yes.
So we can't complain too much.
I heard there was a Star Wars reference in this movie from interviews, but I didn't look it up because I didn't want to be spoiled. And it ended up being Adam Driver's character has a key ring of one of the Star Wars ships. I thought when we were watching it, because he just kept saying, this is not going to end well. Just over and over and over. And everyone kept saying, like, how do you know that? And it's because he's, like, you know, in on the whole thing. But I thought that was a Star Wars reference.
Yeah, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I thought they were just, you know, changing it enough to it's different, but it's the same.
I guess it might have been.
Could have been. Maybe there's 2 Star Wars references.
Yeah.
But the parts with the zombies in it, I was actually very impressed by. So I would go see it if you like zombie movies. If you don't like funny movies, if you don't like horror comedies, don't go see it.
Yeah. But
'Cause you won't
also,
like it.
I don't know, because it's not a typical comedy. So that's kind of hard to say.
True.
I think, like, it's getting so many mixed reviews. Just try it and see what you think.
Make your own assumption.
Yeah. Maybe if you, like, really hate Jim Jarmusch films,
Yeah.
then maybe you wouldn't even want to see it anyway.
But,
But
I
give
mean-
it a shot, see what you think.
I would say
knows?
just based on if you like zombie movies and if you think Bill Murray is funny, go see it.
Yeah, and you don't mind a little weirdness or slowness.
Yeah.
Because it's slow.
It gets slow in some parts, yeah.
But I don't mind that.
But it doesn't really, it's slow, but it's not a long enough of a slow period to take you out of anything. It's like I would say Walking Dead has slower parts.
Sure.
So if you watch Walking Dead and you like it, and you can stand that, then this would be no problem.
We give this film 3 out of 5 ghouls. We agree on our rating.
I'm surprised, honestly.
That was me slapping the ghouls out of the way.
Okay. Little bonus review.
Bonus
this is gonna
review.
Be really
Boo,
quick.
boo, 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 boo.
The Dead Don't Die was a limited release for us.
It was in our theater for 4 days.
4 days. Yes.
Love that.
Really strange. So the next night we did.
And not on Discount Tuesday.
No. We had to go pay full price. Ended up seeing Anna on Tuesday.
The very next day.
I would wait for Redbox.
Yeah. If you see it at all.
If you see it at all. Yes. I was very excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming off John Wick high. The John Wick high has not come down at all. It was rough because it was literally right across the hall from John Wick, and there was a showing starting directly after the movie let out, and I wanted to just go see John Wick to like
make up for it.
Cover up my emotions towards it. We all know I enjoy Luke Evans. So, listen, if you like Luke Evans,
Oh my God.
if you like Luke Evans, go see it. But otherwise, like,
don't stay home.
That you'll get whiplash.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nothing special. It's pretty much your run-of-the-mill spy movie, and it's especially from this director, run-of-the-mill. Luke
it's
Benson
by the same
movie.
person that made. It's the same guy that made Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Fifth Element, like, I couldn't believe that it was the same person when you told me that. It like takes an absolute shit on Anna, the Fifth Element. Like, it's I wouldn't even compare the two of them.
No.
I enjoyed it because it's like a Russian spy movie.
Yeah.
You know, I live for that shit.
But it doesn't really add anything new.
No, it's very stereotypical, and it's also, I would say, like, I don't want to, you know, be that person. It's made for men, kind of. Like the whole like plot line, the reasoning behind the characters.
Yeah.
It's just very like weird softcore porn with guns.
Yeah, a lot of the reviews I read for this one said similar things, like for this one as well as like for all his movies, like he still hasn't stopped with his obsession with like female empowerment, but at the same time
Just shitting on them.
like turning them into an object. Like
Yeah.
Objectification.
Yeah, I would say that's
I think
fair.
that's like his MO.
Yeah. You also get like actual whiplash in the time jumps.
Yeah.
Like you're going forward in time and then backward in time, and then but it's not ever even amounts.
No.
It's 6 months, 3 years, 5 years, a week, and it's just jumping back and forth. You almost
He's very ambitious.
You have to like take notes.
Yeah.
Almost. If you like his movies, if you like spy movies, like it's not the worst thing I've ever seen by any means. I did enjoy watching it for what it was.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay the movie theater money and all that to go see it.
Yeah.
Not even Luke Evans.
I didn't have any major qualms with it. It just wasn't really anything special.
You know what would have made it better?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. The Dead Don't Die is better. Go see that.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah, it might be out of theaters.
It might
already.
be out of your theater. I don't know what the next movie we'll be reviewing is. Either Annabelle or Child's
What's
Play.
the name of it? Annabelle. What?
Annabelle Comes Home.
Annabelle Comes Home, and so will we.
After seeing the movie.
After seeing the movie at the theater, we'll come right home.
And film the review for it. We don't know which one because she's never seen Child's Play, the original Child's Play, and she's also not seen the second Annabelle movie.
Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle
I didn't
Creation.
See. I've seen all the other ones relevant to this film.
Yes, so we still have to watch those, but one Child's Play or Annabelle Comes Home
We'll see.
will be coming your way soon. Don't expect anything good. Is all I can say.
Well, our review will be fantastic.
Yes, but the review probably won't be very high.
Maybe not. Toodaloo.
Anymore.